And Scally has run a pick your own pumpkin patch, lovely alliteration there, at Langsford Cottages in County Meath for the past 5 years, and said this year was particularly bad for his crop. He's quote, did not make it through to harvest time. I will have no pumpkins by next week, said poor Declan Scally. That means they're gonna cost money, aren't they? They're gonna cost money. I forgot to mention when I was talking about pigs there that the Muppets, the new Muppet TV show, starts this evening on Sky One at 8 o'clock. It's got bad reviews from the States, but I'll be tuning in anyway, just out of curiosity. And Rachel was tuned into the TV programme over the weekend. She says, I'm a normal 37-year-old woman. I have a daughter. I'm not in a relationship and haven't been in for a long time. When I heard your guest speaking of being asexual, it was the first time I heard of it. But what a relief. I thought I was the only one who felt like this. My friends say I'm attractive and don't look my age. I like to take care of myself, my appearance, but I have no interest in having sex, and I'm not attracted to anyone sexually. I haven't spoke about this to anyone. I thought maybe I might be gay for a long time, but I wouldn't be interested in having sex with a woman either. I really feel a bit normal now. I wonder if there's lots of people like this. I'd love to go out and have the crack, and people always ask me why I'm not with anyone. Please, could you discuss this further on the radio? Well, we'll read out your email anyway. We spoke to Vivian, Aoife and Katie on Saturday night, all who are asexual. And according to statistics, it's estimated that 1% of the population, of any population, are asexual. So that would be around between 40 and 45,000 Irish people. Vivian and Katie are aromantic asexual, and then Aoife is romantic asexual. So Vivian and Katie don't feel any attraction whatsoever, or they don't feel the need to get into a relationship, whereas Aoife would, but it wouldn't be in a sexual way. Anyway, that was on the programme on Saturday night. And Enda has been on about that, not about that, but about the programme. He says, I was looking at your attempt of press-ups on Saturday night versus Ross Purcell, and I knew this was coming. I knew they weren't right. Anyway, he says they weren't press-ups at all, and he'd be willing to come in and show me how to do a proper press-up. Thanks, Enda, but no thanks. 51551 for your text. You can send us emails to ray@rte.ie. Good afternoon.
I've been down to $5 so many times, paralyzed on the corners of living and dying. I've had jobs, gave me less pay than what it costs to survive from day to day. So you could come on in, out of that night. You can come on in, out of that night. I have suffered in silence like everyone else. Rented the rooms and bought from the shelves. Beware of the worry, the tired and unsteady. The rich might get richer, but the poor might get ready. So you can come on in, out of that night. You can come on in, out of that night. I've walked up to the edges of some beautiful dreams, looked in at the people, oh how happy they seem, then returned to the dark where I thought I belonged, so afraid to look back and find that the light is all gone. So you can come on in, out of that night. You can come on in, out of that night.
voice. It's a great voice, isn't he? Is that Vodafone ad not nearly identical to the UPC Lost Dog commercial? Asked John. I'm not familiar with that, but it is a copy of a Vodafone ad that was made in New Zealand. I was watching it yesterday, filled with a bit of national pride, thinking, now some bright spark copywriter in an ad agency in Dublin wrote that lovely ad with the little pig and Sally Gap and all that, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's pretty good. And then when I put it into a search engine this morning, another ad came up exactly the same from New Zealand, which was posted up there in May of this year. I was at the match yesterday, home on ferry and trains, great time, bad result, but glad to be part of the atmosphere for the Green Army, says Kathleen. Why do you keep one button of your jacket closed on TV? You look like Forrest Gump. Jenny said the exact same to me. I'll have to open it, sorry, other things in my mind. Hi guys, Ian Phelan here from Kilkenny. My 13-year-old daughter Carrie just became the youngest female powerlifter in Ireland to win 2 gold medals in the World Powerlifting Union World Championships in Limerick, and also holds 4 Irish records in 2 different federations, IPO and GPC, with her bench press and deadlift. Is it okay for a 13-year-old to do all that sort of lifting? Is it? I'm sure it is. You wouldn't let her do it if it wasn't okay. Paul is on the line. How are you doing, Paul?
Hi, Ray. How's things?
Commiserations.
Yeah, again.
So you were over supporting your Everton over the weekend, and they were beaten 3-0 by Manchester United.
They were hammered.
Hammered.
Right.
The Toffees were hammered.
Absolutely hammered. Spiked, you'd say. They were bad enough.
And to add insult to injury, a former Everton player put the nail in the coffin, Wayne Rooney.
That's right, yeah. He hasn't scored there in a while, so...
Yeah. And it was a sad day at Everton as well, wasn't it? Tell people there, what was his name?
Howard Kendall passed, Sir Martin, yeah. Howard Kendall, the legendary manager, all right from the 80s of Everton, yeah.
Yeah, so he...
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. But anyway, your grief was on the way back.
Yes, indeed.
So you were coming back through John Lennon International Airport. Right.
Yes.
Take it from there.
I had bought, earlier on the day, I bought a present for my 3-year-old son, Tommy, in the city centre. And basically what it was a bubble, it was called a bubble gun, but as you can probably see from the photograph I attached to the email, it looks more like a hair dryer, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it doesn't look like what you'd think of as a gun. Yeah,
No. So as I went through security last night in the airport, I noticed my bag getting pulled aside. So I carried on. The girl called me over, so is this your bag? I said, it is indeed, yeah. So I said, Jesus, I couldn't think thought of that. I was in the bag, you know, all I hidden was clothes, and obviously this was tubby for Tommy. So next thing she pulls out, there was a thing of Listerine. I was after forgetting to take that out and put that in with the rest of my liquid. So I said, oh God, sorry, I forgot about that. She goes, we're not actually interested in that. But she threw that in the bin anyway. Now it didn't matter. There was about 20 mils of Listerine left in this thing. Anyway, threw that in the bin. So she pulls out the bubble machine. So I'm standing there looking at it and going, the bubbles, this is the liquid. I said, I forgot about that. She goes, no. She goes, I'm not caring about the liquid. She goes, this here can be concealed as a weapon. I said, sorry.
Sorry,
and she goes to me, she goes to me, it's a gun, like. And I said, are you serious? And she goes, yeah. She goes, look, you can't bring that through. I said, no way. I said, look, no disrespect to you. I said, but can I speak to someone, obviously in higher authority? So her supervisor comes over and he goes, you can't bring it in the aircraft, that's a gun. I said, are you serious? And he goes, yeah, that's a gun. He goes, that is not allowed on the aircraft. I said, well, what's my option? He goes, your option is easy. You can go back down, go out through security, goes down to the terminal building and check your bag in.
Yes, because you were bringing on hand luggage.
Hand luggage, sure, I was only there for the 2 days, you know, I didn't have a whole lot with me, obviously. So I said, you need to go back out through security, down to the terminal building, queue up and check a bag for something like that. And he goes, absolutely. So there was 2 or 3 other lads with me. They could see me chat to your man. They came out and said, look, there's no point. Just walk away, leave it be. Now, I have to say, Ray, I was absolutely fuming, as you can imagine.
Now, I'm just looking at the picture here. You probably might be better at describing it. It's blue plastic, right?
Yeah.
And then if you can imagine sort of, a sort of a torpedo type thing at the top. But there's a handle coming out of that, and then there's a thing at the front as well where you put in the liquid. So it doesn't in any way look like a gun, or it could be construed as a gun or mistaken for a gun or anything like that. The fact that it's blue, bright blue plastic with flashing bubble gun written on it.
I know, yeah, it's priceless, isn't it?
Yeah.
I understand. I mean, I understand security at airports. I mean, okay, this day and age, but I'm sure there's a line where someone can go.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is a toy for sure. And I said to the guys, because for my 3-year-old son, I says, I'm after ringing my wife during the day to tell her to make sure she had batteries, AA batteries, that I'd be able to give it to him in the morning.
Yeah.
And she was,
what age is Tommy?
Tommy's 3.
3, sorry, yeah. And yeah. We did get on to the people in John Lennon International Airport, and they said the company they employ must adhere to stringent security procedures. And items that are not permitted include toy guns. They then went on to say that, which you were given the option of check the item in with any hold luggage, but you hadn't any hold luggage, so you would have had to go back around and do that. Or you could have given it to somebody who wasn't travelling, but that's not an option because you were at a game, so there's nobody there. And they also say it also appears to have a liquid content, and unless the amount of liquid can be quantified, then this would have been a further reason why this item would not have been permitted through security. It's lack of flexibility, Paul, which we live in a world which lacks flexibility at every turn. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, had you told Tommy that it was on its way?
Luckily, no, I hadn't. No. And I got him a nice Everton jersey just for his troubles as well. So
for his troubles.
Yeah. So he was happy enough with that. But Ray, just another thing. When I actually went in, anyway, I assume when I went in, sat down in the airport, and I said, I should look at let it go. But you know what? I actually told security, the officer upstairs, I said, I'm going to take a picture of this, and I'm going to email her in an Irish radio station about this. And he goes, you're entitled to take a picture. He goes, just make sure you don't get any other part of the airport security. He said, no problem. So I took a picture of the gun and pass it on to you. Yeah. But when I went on down anyway, I sat down in the airport and said, I should look at the lads where I let it go. There's no point in and causing a scene. So, but I went into the shop in Liverpool Airport and I bought a Minion, and it's like a fan. It's with sweets in it. And only my wife saw it and goes, do you know what? She goes, sure, that could be the same as a gun. It has a trigger. It looks as like a gun as my hairdryer, as I call it, did.
But it's interesting you bring up Minions, because back in August, a woman tweeted that her child's Minion fart gun was also confiscated. Have you seen those fart guns?
No, Ray, we'll tell you about the fart guns.
Yeah. At the time, Dublin Airport Authority said the airport's list of prohibited items doesn't allow any kind of replica gun. Yeah, well,
I say flexibility, Ray.
Flexibility.
You need to use your head, like.
And I suppose, it might just be sending the message out there, Paul, that if anything remotely resembles a gun, you're probably better off not trying to get it on an airplane. That's probably good advice, isn't it? Yeah.
But then you may tell your wife or your girlfriend not to bring her hairdryer with them because.
There you go. So Tommy, is Tommy going around his Everton jersey?
Yeah, he loves it. I don't think he realises that. No. He doesn't realise it's Everton yet, you know. But he's happy at wearing it tomorrow. And luckily, I hadn't told him I was after getting the bubbles for him, you know, because he's probably like every 3-year-old. He loves bubbles.
Right. Good talking to you, Paul.
All right,
have a good day. See you. Bye.
The Ray Darcy Show on RTE Radio 1.
Elgar's First Symphony, a triumph when first performed in Manchester in 1908, within weeks in wild audiences in New York, Vienna, St. Petersburg and Leipzig. Compared to Beethoven, Brahms and Richard Strauss, it is one of the great symphonies. Hear it with the RTE National Symphony Orchestra and conductor Richard Farnes, Friday, October 23rd at the National Concert Hall. Tickets from €15. See rte.ie/NSO.
The RTE National Symphony Orchestra. Love your orchestras.
With PhoneWatch, you can relax knowing that we will instantly respond to your burglar, smoke or carbon monoxide alarms. Get PhoneWatch today for just €499. That's a saving of €200. Call us on 1850 500 900. PhoneWatch, your safety, our passion. Offer ends October 30th. Imagine indulging in one last holiday to top up your tan, or taking care of the cost of Christmas in one fell swoop. Well, with the Irish Times, now you can. Simply enter the Irish Times Winter Windfall competition for your chance to win €5,000, as well as 2 runner-up prizes of €1,000. To enter, collect 15 tokens. One will appear in the Irish Times print edition every day for the next 3 weeks, with double tokens on Saturdays. For more information, visit irishtimes.com/winter windfall. The Irish Times, you are what you read. Terms and conditions apply.
Have you heard about the RTE app? It's amazing! And you can watch your favourite shows and snuggle up the stories. Shush! Listen anytime. RTE Junior. Download the app today.
The Ray Darcy Show on RTE Radio 1 with Volkswagen. New car finance plans designed to get you on the road from Volkswagen Bank.
It rained overnight. Yeah, that's the first time in a long time, isn't it? 51551 for your text and send us emails to radart.ie. There'll be some Del Boy type fella on the case sourcing plastic battery operated pumpkins in China as we speak. Says John in Limerick. And 2 words on the press ups. Bill Cullen, remember? Oh yeah. We've been doing this for a long time, challenging people to press up challenges, but back in the day we were doing a broadcast from Killarney, I think it was. And we spotted Bill Cullen on the train on the way down, and we asked him to come on. And then because he was very fit doing yoga and all sorts of things, so I challenged him to a press-up challenge in front of a shop on the main road in Killarney. And he did it in a sort of a V shape. It was ridiculous.
Didn't look like a press-up.
No. Mine was far superior. Opens jacket. It looks too small on you otherwise, says Aisling. Thanks, Aisling. And I wonder, is it possible to be fluid asexual, trans asexual, romantic asexual, or indeed a non-romantic asexual, or just single? I don't know. Think of all the program possibilities. Endless. Well, I've done a lot of reading about this, and I think, there's been an acceptance for a long time about a lot of psychological states that we're on a continuum. That you're not one thing or the other, we're on a continuum. And it looks now that as we find out more about people's sexual preferences, that sexual preferences are on a continuum as well. So you've heterosexual, homosexual, you've asexual, and you've all sorts of things in the middle. That's the way the world is. It makes it a lot more interesting. Now, not related in the slightest, last week Colin Farrell was in town promoting his new film, The Lobster. It opened on Friday night, and I've been reading good reviews about it, and I actually enjoyed it. And when I called him down in the Four Seasons Hotel, I think it's changed its name, the first thing I said to him, "How are you, Colin Farrell?"
I'm good, Ray Darcy. How you doing?
Good. You're looking good.
Feel all right, man. Yeah.
What are you training for? What are you getting ready for?
Tomorrow.
Right, just tomorrow.
Just tomorrow.
Right. Because in The Lobster, you're overweight.
A bit more cuddly.
Yeah. You let yourself go a bit.
I did let myself go. Yeah.
How do you go about doing that?
Eat and move as little as possible.
And you get coached? Do people give you advice?
To eat?
Yeah, what to eat?
I got coached to eat 38 years ago now, so no, it's held. I just doner kebabs and Philly cheesesteaks and pizza and cheeseburgers and Häagen-Dazs and anything you get in, curly whirlies, club milks, Maltesers by the bed, sleeping with crumbs,
Crisps.
Yeah, lots of crisps. Yeah, I wake up 2 in the morning. Do you know the one where you used to, I don't know.
Go on.
You'd be eating with your eyes closed. You know that one?
No. Go on.
Do you know that?
No, go on.
You never get us in the middle of the night with the munchies and traipse your way to the pantry or the fridge and grab something and start chewing with your eyes closed.
I was a clean living boy. Anyway, really enjoyed The Lobster.
Thanks.
Really enjoyed it.
Thanks, man.
It's sort of, being John Malkovich and the one with the really long title with Jim Carrey in it.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah.
That's cool,
It's in the same sort of genre, is it?
Yeah. Kaufman, he's is it Philip Kaufman who's the writer of those, and he is as extraordinary. I think these lads, Yorgos and Efthimis, who wrote The Lobster, are as kind of singular, are unique in their ability to create and birth these really unusual worlds that defy convention, and yet we can at the same time recognize our own selves within them. And so that's a compliment to the filmmakers, that you would say those 2 films, I think.
I know you're sick of doing it, but just in 2 sentences.
What's it about?
Yeah.
If you don't have a partner in life, by the time you're 18, in this world that the story is set, you're taken to a place called the hotel, where there are other single men and women, and you have 45 days to find a partner. And if you don't, you're taken to the transformation room and turned into an animal of your choosing and sent out into the wild.
And your character decides he wants to be a
yes,
if it ever
for
happens.
various questionable reasons, but he's given it a lot of thought, obviously.
Yeah, it's laugh out loud.
It is, and it's all these things that are so weird to me as a reader of the script when I read it first, or you as a viewer. It's that they're all played so normally and as, just banal facts of life that make the absurdity, I think, as funny as people have seemed to found it,
When people go and see it, there is one scene that I found particularly funny, was when you looked out the window one day and you saw the Shetland ponies.
I mean, I laughed at that.
Did you?
I mean, yeah, it had nothing to do with my presence in it or anything. Just the whole idea of it. Yeah, you wouldn't kneel down and say goodbye to it.
Yeah, because she had been a girl the day before.
Yeah.
So,
with the blonde hair.
Yeah.
She still had the blonde hair.
So you're a star, but Park Nasilla Hotel is a star.
Oh yeah. No, Park Nasilla Hotel features heavily in the film. I mean, it was going to be like the Outlook Hotel or the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. I mean, this hotel and how it kind of lives and grows around the characters was going to be a very heavily featured character, as was the coastline of the west of Ireland, of Kerry and Snee, where we shot. And there was talk of, that it was going to be shot in Greece at one stage, that it was going to be shot in England, and I don't know what the tax rebates were exactly or why the decision was made, but I know that the Park Nasilla Hotel, and we lived there, so we shot in the hotel and we lived there, which was strange. It was quite claustrophobic because you'd say you'd finish a day's work for like 2 months, you'd finish a day's work and you'd go, okay, see you tomorrow, and then you'd bump into each other 30 seconds later after saying your goodbyes at the lift, or was there a lift? I don't know, stairs.
There is a lift,
but no, it was great. It was great shooting there. I loved it. God, I loved it.
And you've done that's like you did 2 films in Castletownbere.
Yeah, I did.
Not too far away.
It all started from there. I did. It all started right way back when. Falling for Dancer was Castletownbere all those years ago. Was that was, I say 1998 or 7 or something.
What
like
age
that.
were you then?
I think I was 21 or 2. And that was my first introduction to Castletownbere and the Beara Peninsula and that whole part of the world. And then I've gone back since. Yeah, Undine was shot there, which Neil wrote and directed. I think just because he wants to be in Castletownbere for the summer. And he's that talented, he could just go, I'll just write a script and set it there. And then this, so that part of the world, honestly, the west coast of Ireland has a very kind of special place in my heart.
It was Bertie's old home. Did you know that?
No.
That's where Bertie used to go for his summer break.
Really?
When it was T-shirt.
Castletownbere?
No,
Park Nasilla was.
That's it.
I mean, it's got a great history, it's got all these beautiful old photographs, black and white of a time that's since passed us by, and yeah, it was very evocative of a lot of things.
So the last time I saw you was on the Claire Byrne show.
Oh yeah.
Talking about the same-sex referendum.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, because you spoke so lovingly about Eamon and Stephen and their relationship. When was the first time you met them after? Yes.
After, I don't know. I mean, we were in contact through the votes and through the count that was going on, and then by the time I met them after, it had kind of passed. I mean, it's almost in a way as significant as the referendum was, of course, and of it becoming, that act becoming legalised and being written into the Constitution. It was kind of somewhere where they were already living. It just their lives hadn't the civil recognition or
moved with them.
Yeah, hadn't got the recognition of the legal recognition of the republic that they call home. So exactly, and moved with them. So by the time I saw them, there was no big celebration. There was a feeling of what should have happened actually took place, which so often doesn't in life,
And were you in LA going, look at what our country did? I'm so proud.
I know, it was pretty brilliant. It was really brilliant. It was really brilliant. And I was getting calls and a couple of emails from people in Los Angeles who would be interested in things that are going on around the world, say, and they were saying, Jesus, what's after happening in your country? That's amazing. Is it right that Ireland is the first country that, through public referendum has voted the same rights for same-sex partners? And I was very proud. Very proud. I mean, it's an amazing little country. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, and did you tell them I was instrumental?
I didn't, but they were kind of sending me the notes going, we saw that you did this and fair play to you and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, every now and then you get a tap on the shoulder and,
Your family is hugely important. I know you're missing one of your son's birthdays now in a couple of days.
So it was Henry's birthday 2 days ago. We Skyped.
Right.
Not for very long. I think he was bored. He just wanted to come and play with his toys, which is fair enough. But, family's important.
And that's part of the job, I suppose. You're going to be away.
It is, do you know what I mean? And look, a lot of... Yeah, you think about it over the years and go, how much am I missing out and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, I mean, I just did True Detective, this TV show, and that was in Los Angeles. We shot for 6 or 7 months, so I was home for 6 or 7 months. And when I'm not home, which is at least... Or when I am home, not shooting, which is at least 4 or 5 months of the year, I'm there 24/7.
Yeah.
They're sick of looking at me.
Yeah.
So I think cumulatively, I spend more time with lads than my dad did with me, or than a lot of our fathers did because of the work that they did back in the day. You know,
that's a good point.
And really, like cumulatively, but there is these pockets where I'm on the road for 3 or 4 months and it's a drag. The lads come and visit me, but it's a drag. And I tell you, Skype is amazing. Yeah. It's it can't replace.
I was reading about an article about True Detective, and the headline was Colin Farrell, movie star, becomes an actor.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's one of those you don't know if it's a backhanded compliment.
What do you think about that analysis?
I mean, I don't know. You know, you try and, you know, we live in a world of categorization. You know, and things have to be put in a certain kind of box to kind of understand them or cordon them off or again classify. But I get what the writer was meaning there, and you know, being kind of somewhat pseudo clever with words. And
do you analyse your career? Do you sort of say that was that?
I mean, I could do it pretty quick. Though. Yeah. You know, you'd have it done in 2 minutes. No, I mean, I have it done in 20 minutes. We haven't got that. But no, I could. I mean, I could very much see, and I would see from the inside where I was personally through different stages as well. But I mean, I've had like highs and lows and all that kind of stuff, and I feel now that there's a little bit more balance in it, which is lovely at this stage. And you know, the fever pitch of the first 6 or 7 years when I was in America was a trip, and I enjoyed it for what it was worth. But I'm glad that period is over. You know, I really am. And
does that come with age?
I think it comes with age and opportunity. You know, giving it a second chance, or you know, I've done some big things that cost a lot of money that didn't receive the financial return that they were designed to receive, and moments like that you do notice to see change. You know, the phone just doesn't. It's an industry, of course, that runs like so many industries do, off profit. And so if you make expensive films that don't do a lot of money, the opportunity to make more expensive films might, you know, slow down or quieten down for a while, and that in itself is fine. You just weather the storm, like anything in life. You know, personal art creator, you just weather the storm.
Speaking of age, you're 40.
Close, yeah.
Yes.
I'm in my 14th year.
How do you feel about that?
Good, actually, yeah. I like it, to be honest. Yeah, I do. I don't mind it.
He looks well for 40, doesn't he?
I don't mind it. How old are you, Ray?
I'm 51. 51.
Not too shabby, man.
Well, I had your hair. You're right.
She can get my hair now. It's easy enough. Get on Amazon.
Anyway, Colin Farrell, thank you very much.
Thanks a million.
I really enjoyed The Lobster, and it comes highly recommended from here.
Brilliant, thanks, man.
The Ray Darcy Show on RTE Radio 1. RTE Radio 1.
Country to Country, where the massive country music festival gets even bigger and returns for 3 days to 3 arenas from Friday the 11th to Sunday the 13th of March. Featuring U.S. country superstars Carrie Underwood, Miranda Lambert, Eric Church, Dwight Yoakam, Little Big Town, Casey Musgraves, and many more. Country to Country. Tickets on sale now.
Live music updates on RTE Radio 1. I'm Heather Reynolds, Director of HTech. Our company specialises in outsourcing customer solutions. When we started 3 years ago, we had 9 employees, and today we have over 1,000. If you're a small business owner or manager thinking of taking on staff, there are lots of government supports there to help your business grow. And now all the information you need is in one place.
For everything you need to know to grow, visit actionplanforjobs.ie, an initiative from the Department of Jobs, Enterprise and Innovation.
Visit the Mind, Body, Spirit and Yoga Festival at RDS. Learn all about alternative and healthy living. Hear renowned speakers, enjoy demonstrations, lectures, exhibits. That's Mind, Body, Spirit and Yoga Festival, RDS, October 24th to 26th. mindbodyspirit.ie.
The Ray Darcy Show on RTE Radio 1 with the new Volkswagen Golf Estate. There's so much to talk about, you're going to need the extra space.
51551 for your text. You can send us emails to ray@rte.ie. Any idea what happens to items confiscated at airports? In January of this year, I had my 454 gram of Irish butter taken at Dublin Airport, even though for years I've been bringing butter without any problem. Jennifer, that's a good question. Like, does somebody bring it home and use it, or is it thrown out? What happens to it? The airport were completely right. So that person. And most people are aware by now of the seemingly ridiculous carry-on baggage rules and the reasons they exist. 9/11. My son had a small Euro shop bought water pistol confiscated at Dublin Airport years ago. We already had enough tears and trauma as we were a large family unwillingly emigrating, and it was a last-minute gift from a well-meaning relative. The boy was 5 years old. My wife had a cheese grater removed by Liverpool Airport security. She inquired if this was a dangerous object. She was told that she could be arrested for carrying a dangerous object, says Frank. And same happened to us, Ray, travelling from Belfast to Faro a few weeks ago with kids, and our 2-year-old had his toy drill taken from him at security. We were jokingly asked the guard, will there be trouble over this, before it was taken from him and confiscated. So you were joking. And then there was trouble. It's not a flexibility issue, it's a safety issue. In this day and age, when you can 3D print a plastic gun that actually fires, you have to not let them on the plane. Better safe than sorry, says Paul. And airport authorities perfectly right not to allow a toy gun on plane flight, says that person. Now, that's we were speaking about it already, and that was quite a lot of live line today. The fact that Billy Walsh has retired, and John Tracy from the Irish Sports Council is on the line. Hi, John.
Good, Ray.
We've spoken about this before.
We have, yeah.
So just to remind people, you're head of the Irish Sports Council, which is the umbrella body for all amateur sports organisations in this country. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're the state agency responsible for developing the sport in the country, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would fund the IABA, which is the Irish Amateur Boxing Association?
Yeah, we fund the high performance plan within the IABA in its entirety.
And Billy Walsh was the head coach of the high performance unit?
Yes, he was, yeah.
Yeah, and you said at the time when we spoke here that you would be anxious to make sure that Billy stayed on.
We were very anxious.
Right.
We were very anxious that Billy would stay on.
What role did you play then in the negotiations between Billy Walsh and the IABA?
Well, we would become aware of this probably in February of this year. We would have had many discussions with the IABA throughout that period. We probably would have met with them 7 or 8 times on it. And in August of this year, Chair Mulvey chaired a session that involved Billy Walsh and the IABA, and a proposal was agreed at that session. And we believe that proposal wasn't brought to the board of the IABA. Then the Minister Ring intervened, and we were again involved with Minister Ring. And Minister Ring had 3 meetings with the IABA trying to resolve this issue. And we thought we had an agreement. I'm confident that the financial aspects of this contract were agreed. So finances weren't an issue here. From what I understand is it was the non-financial issues that were really the crux of the matter, and I think that's what Billy Walsh was saying as well at lunchtime.
Regrettably, the IBA has not made it possible for me to continue on in the role of head coach of the high performance unit senior team. And what else did he say? He said mentally it's been very, very stressful over the last 8 months. It has taken its toll in some ways. So way back before this was the big issue that it has become, there was talk that it was about selecting of teams.
No, it's not about. It's more about the ability to run the program and have the authority over the program. From what I gather, but it is one of those issues where Billy is the leader of the program, and it was his ability probably to lead the program. That would be my summation of it.
Okay, so he felt that he couldn't continue because he didn't have enough autonomy.
Well, I think it's the lead. I think obviously Billy reports into the chief executive, reports into the IABA, and I don't think there was any issue with that. But the ability to have the authority to lead the program, I think that's it in a nutshell.
Okay.
Like we did all that. We, from a sports council perspective, and the minister as well, Minister Ring as well, we intervened in this matter. We made sure finances weren't an issue with it, and he got down to the detail of the contract. I believe that's where it fell apart. Let's put it that way.
Just for people listening, John, just so they know. So the Irish Amateur Boxing Association, would they have full-time paid-up officers?
Yes.
They'd have full-time. How many people would that be in an organisation like that?
Probably it might be 8 or 9 or so.
Okay. And how much per annum does the amateur
head office? But they have developed an office.
Right.
Something more. Yeah.
But would Billy Walsh have been negotiating with?
He'd be negotiating with the IABA board and the chief executive.
So that'd be a combination of amateur and paid up people.
Yes.
Okay. And were you ever in the room with Willie Walsh and the IABA?
When we met in August,
yes,
of course we were.
Yes.
Yeah. Which as I say, Chair Mulvey chaired that session.
Yes. And he has vast experience in negotiations.
Vast experience, and we would also we had Minister Ring chair the session that involved the IABA, including Chair Mulvey and myself from the Sports Council at the time, and so we had it at the very highest levels of the state between the minister, the government minister, and ourselves, trying to make sure that finances weren't an issue in terms of solving this issue.
Is this a personality thing?
Well, I can't answer that question. They'd be the type of questions you certainly would put to myself, because they're ones I couldn't possibly answer.
Yeah, it's just oftentimes in life, and that's like I've found all the times I met Billy Walsh to be hugely personable and decent and honest, and that's my impression of him. But sometimes in life that people just don't get on, and that's there's no way around that sometimes, so. This is very disappointing, isn't it? Because, and I know he was at pains to point out on the news with Audrey Carville that there is a team there, but he's very much the leader, isn't he?
He is very much the leader, and I think the tributes particularly paid by the boxers in the past, Michael Collins in recent times, are highlights of the role that Billy plays. He's a key leader. He is someone that's with them 24/7 when they're together as a group. He leads them. He makes sure all those boxes look forward and looked after from a strength and conditioning, from sports medicine side, all those pieces. Yeah. And he is the leader. And I suppose he's a great little psychologist as well, in terms of bringing that calmness to the boxes that they were reaching major competition. Like he is an outstanding coach. He is an outstanding high performance leader, and that was the piece that the Sports Council were highlighting constantly in recent times, that someone like Billy Walsh, you don't replace very easily.
And John, I'll reiterate again, you're head of the Irish Sports Council, and the boxing team is by far the most successful team in international events, including the Olympics. So this is a really sad loss, isn't it?
It's a huge loss, absolutely huge loss. And we might be there in 5 years' time, and we would certainly be regretting losing a coach of this caliber. When I was clearly under the impression that certainly that deep down, definitely Billy Walsh wanted to stay. So
she was crying this morning. He says the toughest decision he's ever made. So he wants to stay. You want him to stay, everybody else wants him to stay. So the only people who don't obviously want him to stay is the IABA. We've asked them to come on and comment, but they haven't got back to us. Okay, and do you think it's like, I heard Jimmy McGee saying there that he would mediate, but do you think is there any way back from this?
Well, as I said, the Americans had been negotiating with Billy Walsh since last February, and I think Billy was obviously keeping them at bay. We were underlining to the IABA the urgency of this matter for the last number of months, and now we have the day where Billy is gone.
Has he signed, do you reckon, with the USA?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
And have you spoken to him today, John?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. No.
Okay. Joe Duffy was calling it another Saipan.
It's a tremendous loss to Irish sport, and I suppose he's not just a leader, but he's great for any team, Irish team, Olympic team, because of his personality.
Okay, John Tracy of the Irish Sports Council, thanks very much for talking to us. Thanks, John.
Thank you. Bye.
The Ray D'Arcy Show on RTE Radio 1. It's almost 4 o'clock on RTE Radio 1. Why not take another look at Pamela Scott, The Collection? You never know, she might surprise you. PamelaScott.com.
Will you remember the weekend you hung around the house? Or will you remember discovering your own perfect place in Ireland? Somewhere to paddle down, tour around, or settle in. To try something
times just like old times. This is exploring, bonding, thrilling, laughing. This is what friendship is made of.
For a little inspiration and loads of special offers, visit discoverireland.ie. This is living. Plan your autumn getaway in Ireland today. More people are switching to Campus Oil for exceptionally low heating oil prices. Our flexible delivery service is available 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 6 days a week. Order today on 1850 430 430 or online at campusoil.ie and heat your home for less this winter. Campus Oil, low-cost heating oil.
In business, it's the people who look at things differently, who change things, who innovate, who keep their business rising. Which is why AIR is doing things differently for business. We're rolling out contract-free broadband and mobile for small businesses, meaning you're always connected without being tied to long-term contracts. For more information on how AIR is doing things differently, visit us online today at air.ie/business. Business rises on AIR.
The Ray Darcy Show on RTE Radio 1 with the Volkswagen Golf range. So many, there's something to suit everyone.
Now, Andy Quirk is the face and the brains behind the RT2 comedy Damo and Ivor. After 2 successful series, Andy has just finished writing the movie, Damo and Ivor, the movie, which he hopes will be in cinemas next year. And this Thursday, Andy will find out if he has landed his first TV award at the IFTAs. Andy Quirk, good afternoon.
How are you?
Are you nervous?
No, I'm all right.
Not about coming into
Oh, yeah, you mean the
IFTAs, about the IFTAs.
On Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it'll be a good night. There's free booze at it too.
Is there?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the wine's free at the table from what I remember.
Yeah.
Should be a good night, yeah. No, I'm nominated, so I'm delighted with that.
Who are you up against?
Brendan O'Carroll from Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Chris O'Dowd.
Chris O'Dowd.
Yeah.
Enda Oates from Fair City.
Yeah.
And
Sean Mann from Red Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chris O'Dowd,
it's a tough
Brendan
one.
O'Carroll. Not, that's big competition, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but like... I'll take those off.
Yeah.
It is, but...
Yeah. What are you wearing?
It's good to be up against them.
What are you wearing on the night?
I'm wearing a 3-piece suit.
Are you?
Yeah, Louis Cope. Sort of, yeah,
Is it a black tie?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Well, this is the clip they might play if you win. So this is you in full action.
Oh, yeah, go for it,
Ivor,
yeah.
with Rick Mail. So this is your Ivor character.
Go on, yeah.
Looking good, my old man. Now that is a nice toy. Where's the 50 grand I gave you this morning? Where do you think? It's in the bookie's bag. We're at the races, Dad. God, how many brandies have you had? You keep it down. We are in company right now. Your spending has been out of control lately. I am not giving you any more money. Why are you being such a scabby ballbag? Just give me the money and I won't embarrass you into a pool in front of your knob friend. 5 grand. Why didn't you just flame on my face? It's 5 grand. Take it or leave it. Leave it? Jesus.
We beeped the offending F word out. So you and Rick, we've spoken about Rick Mail before, but just remind people how you got on tact at Damo and Ivor.
Pretty much what it was, you know, a lot of people would go, how would you even get in contact or whatever. Anyway, we ended up writing the script, but we had written the script for him, as in, so we pictured him playing it, so that's probably why it suited him better, do you know what I mean? So when we had sent it to him, he pretty much just loved the script so much that he went, yeah, I'll do it. So it wasn't about money or anything, he actually just wanted to do it. Usually what he'll do with a script is he'll read it to his kids, and if his kids laugh, then he'll do it.
Right.
So they did laugh.
What age are his kids?
I'm not
Sure. Late teens, 20s. Yeah. Very sad, wasn't it? He was
very, very sad.
50s. So the movie is finished, as in writing it.
Writing it, yeah.
Right. So
No.
have you got finance and all that sort of thing?
No, that's the thing.
All right.
So hopefully we'll get all that sorted. Once we get that sorted, we'll get cracking on it. But I'd say if we did, we wouldn't get filming on that until, I don't know, I'd say it could be even the summer. Yeah, oh look, he's after whipping out a tenner here to me. Well, I'll take it. It's probably dodgy, it's probably fake. I'm checking under the lights here.
So I want points, someone points on the movie as well.
So yeah, hopefully, like, if we get the money together, yeah, we'll get it sorted.
And you know, because you've had 2 successful TV series, and why the movie?
The reason being is, well, one, I always wanted to do a movie. Even when I was like 19 or 20, I was writing stuff like sketches, and I was trying to write it as a movie. So it's one thing that I always wanted to do because it seemed like the big thing. But it's not possible to do it back then because plus there was no fan base towards the characters really.
Yeah.
Now that it's built up, it's got so big that you can actually do it. So why not?
Yeah.
It's kind of the movie is going to be kind of like a lead on from series 2. Do you know what I mean? It kind of catches up on where it ended.
Right.
So
will it be done on location in Ireland or?
Yeah.
It will be. Okay.
I think it'll have to be budget-wise.
Yeah.
We won't be flying to Ibiza or something.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Of course, people who know your sort of career trajectory will know that you started doing sketches for Republic of Telly, which is back tonight by coincidence. Yeah. And then you went in the TV series, but you met the love of your life on Republic of Telly.
Yeah, I did actually, which is kind of weird. Her sister Tara actually worked on Republic of Telly. She was acting on it, and one day the two of us were on the same night working, and she brought in her sister. So I met her sister on that night inside in the green room, and then that was just one night that we met, and then we were talking once or twice on Facebook. But then I think nearly a year passed, and on Halloween night, my nana died and her granddad died. Same night, both on the same night. So I saw it on Facebook, so I sent her a message just to say sorry to hear about that, and that's actually what got us talking again. So then I think about 6 months later, she was already living in Australia for a year or so at that stage, and then I went over to Australia to see her. So I went back and forth in between while I was filming Damon Ivor.
Long distance love.
Yeah, 3 times I went over, and each time I went over, obviously the time I spent got longer, and then the third time when I came back, she came back with me.
Right. That's it. And one of the times, because one of the people who go to Australia over the years, you have to do some sort of agricultural quotient or something.
Yeah, but it's like I think you have to do that if you're staying there for a certain amount of time or whatever. But I wasn't doing that because I was staying in small periods of time, say like a month, 2 months or whatever. I never needed to go through any of that.
Oh, right. But you did work on a fruit farm?
No, I didn't actually do any of that stuff. I'm obsessed with animals, right? So I wasn't going to go do any acting when I was over there because just after finishing doing the whole 2 years of Damon Ivor, so I kind of treated it more like a holiday more than anything. So I was going to like zoos and pet shops. I was even going to look for jobs, like, but I wasn't that motivated to get a job as such because I kind of had enough money to keep myself going. I was enjoying the actual fun of it. So.
And she's back now. Grace is back.
Yeah, she's back. Yeah.
What does she do for a living?
She's a social worker.
All right.
Yeah.
And Jules as well is your co-writer on Damon Ivor.
Yeah.
And we saw you in Jules' documentary Nine Stone Rising.
Yeah.
That was an amazing transformation.
That was crazy.
People will see another night later on and see the documentary. And you were in Australia while she was doing that. So
just at the very start of it. So she actually, I would have been in Australia when she had got the surgery done. But I'd been talking to her obviously for months and months before that, when I was home, about actually getting it done. So then when I got back, at least she'd lost, I don't know, about 3 or 4 stone at that stage, but at least I was home then to support her in, like, say, the fitness part of it or whatever, you know.
And you're cousins?
Yeah, cousins and best friends.
Yeah, and co-writers.
Yeah, it just works.
And we
don't row. We do not fight.
And we all co-writers, or did she grow into?
No, what it was years ago when I was trying to write scripts on my own, because of my dyslexia, I find it very difficult to get the jokes that I have in my head down on paper. Yeah.
Right.
So sometimes I was actually drawing them, you know, cartoon kind of way. Yeah. So Jules came over to the house one day, and she was looking at all the stuff. She was laughing away. So she was like, "Do you want me to type that up for you?" Sure, I pointed my head to the ground. I was like, "Yeah, amazing." So she went off, typed it all up, and that was the start of Damon Ivor Series 1.
And she was obviously adding to it then.
Oh, yeah.
You could get someone just type it up for you, you know?
No.
Cheaper.
So yeah, pretty much that's what happened. And we started working together, and that was it.
And she's co-written the film as well.
Yeah, same.
Who are your comedy heroes?
Pat Short by a million miles.
Is he?
Yeah. The only reason why I ever did Damon Ivor was because of him. Like years ago when he was doing like his Unbelievables and that, my dad would be cracking up laughing watching it. But you know the way like you'd want to make your dad laugh as well. So I looked at Pat Short and I said, "That's pretty good." I'm thinking as well, I can do that. So I started to reenact exactly what he did. Like I'd dress up and do the exact
word for word,
easy.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
Yeah. And I just kept on doing that. But then what was annoying as well, what I was getting frustrated with was I felt like that I was just decided to do John Joe the Traveller.
Right.
I like to do.
And when the film is finished, you're going to create new people. Right? That's
When I've done the movie,
yeah.
I'd say I'll go off and do something completely different.
Right.
I'm not saying that there won't be any more David. I'm not saying that after the movie, but I think I'd like to do something different. I've been wearing a long hat for a long time, like.
Because but apart from that, you're not very sort of comfortable with the whole, like, for want of a better word, celebrity part of it.
No, I'd love doing the job of acting and writing. Now I know it comes with it, the fame part of things, but it's like, let's say someone was a plumber and someone came up to you every single day of the week and you had 100 people in a day and they were asking, how's the plumbing going, and talking about it. You know, you can get bored of it after a while, do you know what I mean? But I understand, I get where people come from.
Did you hire a bodyguard at one stage?
Stop.
Did you really?
Yeah, but that's me getting, it's building up too much in my head, you know, and I was going to like Coffee Face Jacks, I was asking for it, like.
Right, yeah.
Like, and the thing is, the people are so nice. It's not like I actually need security. The problem is that when you're going out with your friends, you don't actually get to talk to your friends. Yeah. Your friends get pissed off at you. They're like, thanks for talking to us, Andy. I was like, well, I couldn't get away. I can't be rude and tell you sorry I have to go away.
But so I take it you don't go to Coffee Face Jacks anymore?
No, actually, I kind of figured, well, I don't really, but if I do go to Coffee Face Jacks, I figured out if I go a little bit later, everybody's hammered, so they don't even
recognise you.
Not at all.
Yeah. Well, listen, good luck on Thursday night.
Thanks very much.
There's Andy Quirk nominated for his role in Damo and Ivor for an IFTA this Thursday night, and it's, if you want to see it, it's on Friday night on TV3. Thanks, Andy.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ray.
Inis tá sin an fríomhscéilte an nóta na Seamsas.
Maidirí agus go manítí a bhain. Tá scrúdú iarmhás go chuirthrán am seo agus den Hanscoil Corca ar cheir blianas fé a daidir míhín lechair etils go chuid Aerlingus. Bhí gail bógus bun na partingéile go bla clia trú na né. Tá rasúl go léirún scrúdú iarmhás cinnte curmhás a bhí ag bhar. Cinnach mé fáil ar thairn scrúdaithe go ceanscathe más an agus go méid clile tasta na chéad taxonómach do tasta. Tá gordí fós ceistú na mrá cheir blianas á scór bhí an etil théana a adstúíomh go Corca. Á gardí an bhain seo ar a fiú 5 kilogram go ábhar ag gretar gur amphetamína tá an chud mála. Tá blian plísúnach de gara ar áras bla clia i dul sa Dale Creighton scór blian gaís a bhásas na sbidéal hééis sin ionsíthe a hála a dálacht a láithín bliana in Mara. Édal James O'Brien, Ghábhlíon agus fé as bailach Conglis a gon déchir Wantáin, ceantach as Dale Creighton a onsú a dálacht ar a géad lága anad Ghábhíle agus a Cardéag. Tá baltratá a fáil cóirleis gon víras í bóla i dúisgart London a fású agus tá bal a heasfach aras an ospidéal inis. Curú Pauline Cafferty isteach a néana deiste héin bag anna chu 7 nochan na de dair sí go donna tín in Glasgow. Tá sé sénta ag an airigtas Michael Noonan go bhfuil ashénta sa réaltas idir a héin agus an taracóin Alan Kelly fí bhartas ó bhainint le cuasaí píosa a bhainistú le déile leis an ggéirchéim tíhéachta. A láirtólam na chneamh dúirt se go réalta siad ar roinns tograí a bhí san muisiad agus go bhfuil tilas na seachtaí clúna nachróil. An aib sin leis cé go meis an scálacha fescala tróna tá tréimh sí léana gealta agus meis an tarim go chuid is mó seachas cábhar fánach an seo agus an siúd. Bei tuachtas airde idir 8 agus 5 Celsius. Sin é de príomhscéalta fi láid tá an nucht a fáil ar RTE News Now.
Good Seamus, now it's more Sprigal.
Thanks, Ray. Less than a week since Ireland completed a full set of gold, silver and bronze medals at the Elite Men's World Boxing Championships. Billy Walsh, the head coach of the Irish Boxing High Performance Unit, has submitted his resignation to the IABA. In a statement, Walsh said that since February of this year, he had been engaged in a process with the IABA to secure his future as head coach of the High Performance Unit and the senior team. In spite of an intervention in the process by the Irish Sports Council, Walsh stated today that the IABA had not made it possible for him to continue in the role.
For the last 8 months, I've been in contract negotiations with the IABA.
Walsh there speaking on the News at 1 a little bit earlier, just to confirm what that American offer that he has had. He has confirmed that he's taking up a position, a future role with USA Boxing, where he will work with the USA women's team in their preparation for the Rio Olympics and beyond. In other news, former Limerick hurler Kieran Carey is set to be ratified as the new Kerry senior hurling manager at the next meeting of the county committee in a fortnight's time. Uwe Rossler has been sacked after just 5 months as Leeds head coach. He's the 5th Leeds manager to be let go by chairman Massimo Cellino, who only took over the ownership of the club in February of last year. There is one game tonight in the English Premier League. Swansea hosts Stoke. That one's kicking off at the Liberty Stadium at 8 o'clock. And in the SSE Electricity League Premier Division, St Patrick's Athletic are home to Cork City at 7:45. And I'll be back with more on the fallout of the Billy Walsh resignation story at 5 to 5 in drive time.
Thanks, Greg. Thank you very much. 51551 for your texts. You can send us emails to ray@rte.ie. Now, my next two guests have joined a campaign by Amnesty International Ireland calling for the decriminalisation of abortion. Helen Linehan and her husband Graham Linehan join us in the studio. Good afternoon.
Hello there. I have to say hello from my mum. She'll kill me. She's listening and she'd be annoyed if I
Pauline.
Well, people know Graham Linehan, and we haven't heard Helen's voice before.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Helen.
So it's a very personal reason why you've decided to go along with Amnesty. So, Helen, do you want to start?
Yeah, well, it's been a bit weird because we've sort of revisited this very sad time of our lives, really. About 11 years ago, we got married. We got pregnant quite quickly after that. We told everybody.
What you're not supposed to do. We didn't really know why. And then we found out.
We told everybody. And then we had our 11 week. We were about 11 weeks. We had our scan, and it was revealed to us that there was a problem. We went back the next day. After a very worried night, we went back the next day to have a different type of scan to confirm that we had this condition called acrania, which is a fatal abnormality in which the baby would survive in my body, but when it would be born, it wouldn't survive.
It would die after.
It would die. It has a 100% fatality rate, and the condition is when the skull, doesn't close over the brain, completely fatal. So we were, luckily, we were in London when this happened. We lived in London, and we were given a termination. We were booked in. We had a weekend. This was on a Friday, and then we had a weekend to live with this. And we knew we had this appointment on the Monday, and that weekend was very hard.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, or can you remember what it felt like when you were told?
Like a trapdoor in a cartoon had opened up underneath us. We were
just a bit numb, like a dream.
We went from seventh heaven, floating around in a little bubble of happiness, and then it just ended. And so what was very important for us was to try and move past it as quickly as possible. And it wasn't. We were able to do that very easily, and we didn't really think about it. After that, we had a child. After that, we have 2 children now. But when the first one was born, we came back to Ireland to live for a couple of years. And while we were there, Helen was at a playgroup, and she spoke to a woman who said that her friend had exactly the same experience as ours, but because it was in Ireland, she was forced to carry the baby to term. And when I heard that, I still can't quite believe it as I'm saying it. It just seemed to me...
It's ludicrous.
Because we've spoken to a lot of women over the years, and some women choose to carry their baby to term, and other women then, although they can't be referred by their obstetrician or gynecologist, they can travel for medical termination to the main place they go is Liverpool Hospital. There it sort of specialises in that sort of thing. But they couldn't get the care. If you decide to have a termination, you can't get the care in this country.
Yes, and on that, on the subject of not being able to get advice, I mean, there's a woman I've been getting a lot of emails emails from people who are in the same situation as us. And today I got an email from a woman who had an abortion around 18 weeks. And because they weren't able to give her information and tell her that there were various levels of abortion she could have, when she finally got one, it was the least safe option she could get. And she's now unable to have children because of that. So that is a direct result of Ireland's.
The reason I asked you, can you remember how it felt? Because you were told, as you say, like a trapdoor in a cartoon, and then it all happened very quickly.
Yeah.
And it was handled very sensitively and compassionately. What happens in this country is you are told, and then you say, what are my options? And they say, well, you can carry it to term, and you can know that this fetus is going to die. And everything that you said in the video, which is like carrying to term, people saying congratulations, if it's a boy or a girl, have you got the nursery done up, all those questions, or you can go to England for termination. But you have to decide that yourself, and you have to go on your own.
With no support.
Yes.
No support.
And no advice. And I've asked all the women we've met today who've had similar experiences, I've asked them, how would you characterize your doctor as he was telling you all this? And they say enormous frustration and anger, but tight-lipped, helpless, because they're in a profession and Ireland is not letting them do their jobs.
How did this happen with Amnesty? Did you get the call? Did you offer to do this? Or?
I don't remember. I mean, I've definitely tweeted about this in my past anyway, because I've always been very open about it.
Because you've nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it felt to me like it felt to me like I was in a good situation because of Father Ted, because of my connection with Ireland and my tiny celebrity for what
you have a voice. I have
a voice, and I could add to the conversation in a positive way, because I think that the abortion argument has for too long been controlled by some fundamentalist kind of voices, very religious and very black and white and very simplistic. Childish, I would say, is the way the conversation has been carried on.
Do you think people will listen to you? Right?
Well, that's the thing. What I'm hoping they will, because what we want to say is abortion is a very, very nuanced, complicated business.
It's not. It has an abortion. Saying that word has this sort of reputation for some people it's recreational. Abortion is.
It's always an unhappy story. It's never a happy story.
Yeah. And it's odd because I read something that you said, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, that people were saying, we passed the same-sex marriage referendum, and the next social issue on the agenda was abortion. It's completely different because the overwhelming joy that was a result of the Yes campaign it's completely different, because abortion is ultimately a sad.
Yes, there won't be street parties.
No.
There won't be. It's not.
There'll be no triumphalism.
You can't put this on a disco beat.
No.
This is sad, and it's the stuff it's stuff that's very personal. Helen and I, we shouldn't have to talk about this, but while it's legal, we have to.
Because you have 500 people who follow you on Twitter. 500? Sorry, 500.
I was just about to check.
Well, there are 500, but there's also 400,000 as well. Because you've 500,000 people who follow you on Twitter. And I would imagine that the majority of those will agree with what you're saying about abortion at the moment. So,
famous echo chamber of Twitter.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, will other people listen to you? How long have you been out of the country, for example?
I don't know. How long have you been out? It was just after you were told that in the playgroup.
We just packed up.
We got in a taxi.
2008 we moved back. So 7 years.
Oh, people, I don't think in the end our voices, I mean, as I say, our story is actually quite, as these things go, happy story. We were able to move on.
Yeah.
We had 2 children.
Yes.
But what I'm hoping that at least our example might bring other people out to talk about their individual stories. Because I think once people see the human faces at the end of all these statistics, things might change.
Yeah. The video is available. It's on the Guardian website and obviously on the Amnesty website from this morning. So we just alerted people on the pro side that it was there and asked them to comment. I'm sure you had this chat before you did it, that your head is above the parapet now, and it's a very divisive debate.
Yeah.
It's very emotional.
Yeah.
And there can be a lot of vitriol surrounding it, and you're ready for that.
Yeah. Go on.
No,
what are you going to say?
No, these aren't particularly, but there will be on social media, and you live on, you don't live on social media.
No, I do.
Yeah. So Ruth Cullen from the Pro-Life campaign